Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to South Coast Radio. And earlier this year in March, we had the pleasure of chatting with the talented acoustic pop rock duo Kruger and Tutu about their single called Someone to Hold. Since then, the duo has continued to build momentum following the release of their debut album 3, and now they are back with a brand new single titled Sabotage. And known for their heartfelt songwriting, powerful harmonies, and unique live performances, Kruger and Tutu have grown a loyal audience of more than 40,000 followers while creating music that connects deeply with listeners. So joining us today is currently we have Matt Kruger on the line with us, who is rooting for Kruger on his side as well. So Matt Kruger, how are you doing?
Good morning, Ryan, and morning South Coast listeners. Hope you're doing well.
Awesome. We are doing great, and I trust that you are well also. So Matt, it's great to have you back with us as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Warren on, but nevertheless, perhaps the next time we'll surely...
He's on baby duty today, so, daddy daycare. That's I think that's the story there.
It's one of those things, but I'm sure the next time we'll surely have him on with us.
No, damn well. I apologize. You only get one half of the. You only get Kruger today.
Kruger, that's
Tutu is on official business.
It's all good, Matt. No problem at all. So, as I mentioned before, so since we last spoke in March about Someone to Hold, what has life been like for you guys?
We are pumping as per normal. I think winter for musicians is normally a quiet time, but we have found that it's an abnormally busy time, and we're very grateful for that. We actually preparing in 2 weeks. We're doing a very big show here in the Cape. We decided to take Frank Sinatra and bring him into the modern era and
Wow.
redo a lot of the songs in a fresh way. And it's just amazing how many people want to come and see us do that. So
Yeah.
our tickets have almost sold out already for that, which is great. So we're keeping busy. And then also we're going to the Free State for the first time, which is Warren's never been to the front. He's never been there. So we've been booked to play at the Free State Arts Festival with some of the big names.
Mm.
So we're very excited. We're very excited about that.
Wow, that's really awesome to hear, Matt. And so let's go back a little for the listeners who may be hearing you guys' story for the first time. How did the journey of Kruger and Tutu begin?
Well, we started with we didn't start with music, to answer your question. We started
Yes.
with a sport. We're both athletes in a sport called parkour, or free running, which is what you see in the movies, the stunts and the flips. And if you think of Jason Bourne running between buildings, it's that sport. It's an extreme French sport that just kind of became a movement worldwide. And I started coaching it here in South Africa, and then Warren was looking for a coach, and so that's how we met. And then very soon, he graduated to coach as well. Mm-hmm. And we started chatting about other interests one day randomly, and what are you into, and what are you into? And he's like, no, my first love is music. And I'm like, you kidding me?
Wow.
My first love is music. And that's kind of how it started. We sat down on a couch and started just saying, okay, well, let's see if this works. And thank God it did. So, yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome, Matt. So one of the things people immediately notice is your unique guitar playing style. Can you tell us a bit about how that developed and what inspired you to play left and right-handed guitars simultaneously?
Well, okay, so to clarify, Warren is what is called a classical guitarist in the sense that he plays right-handed.
Okay.
Most guitars, if you go into a guitar shop, it's very seldom that you'll actually even find a left-handed guitar.
100%.
But it's modern times now. So we have them. You can order them and you can get them. A left-handed cutaway guitar. But in my case, I'm the one that plays a little bit weird because I play a right-handed guitar, but I play it upside down. So I have to press everything that if you were trained to play guitar the right way. In fact, on TikTok, some of the comments that we get is, this guy cannot play guitar. What is he pressing there? Like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Not realizing, that you playing the chords
they don't
reverse.
recognize that I'm actually, because people think I'm kind of faking it sometimes, but then they don't recognize that I'm pressing everything upside down.
Exactly.
And it's good fun because I get to make sounds on the guitar that is a little bit unusual. So if you think of great guitarists of the past, like Jimi Hendrix, for instance, he played the way that I play.
That's true.
And Paul McCartney from the Beatles, he also plays the way I play.
100%.
So there's a couple of big names that have done this before, but it's not a common sight.
Yeah. Okay, so moving ahead, earlier this year you released your debut album 3, and looking back now, what did that project mean to you personally and professionally?
Okay, so obviously, if you think of a musician, just in general, one of the key dreams for most musicians is to make their music, a reality. So taking it from playing it in their bedroom or playing it to maybe, family and friends, to actually having it in a way that, you can share it with the world on a streaming platform or whatever. And it seems like, today it's a lot easier for musicians to bridge that gap and to go, okay, cool, I've written the song, boom, I've produced it, and now I've shared it on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the classic sense, making an album is a lot harder because, it's not just one song, number one. And number two, if you're honest about it, if you're not just using AI to do everything, then it's your story that you're telling.
Yeah.
And it's literally like an album of your life that you put into music. So we've got 13 songs and 4 or 5 different remixes added into our album. We've got a 17-song total on the album count.
Wow.
And it's really cool because, I get to listen to it and go, okay, well, it was that chapter of my life, or it was that chapter of my life, and I went through this feeling or that emotion. And it's amazing to have it produced professionally with some amazing musicians working on it as well. And just the honor of kind of like today as well, like with you guys playing our music, to hear it on a platform where other people have never heard it before, and they go, okay, wow, we get to hear this music. And I think we often don't appreciate it, when we're driving in a car or whatever, that sometimes you're not just listening to sounds to fill up the silence. It's literally somebody's story that you're listening to,
100%.
Or something that happened to someone that you're listening to.
That's absolutely true, Matt. That's 100% correct. And so let's talk about the new single. What is Sabotage about, and what inspired you guys to write it?
So off the bat, it's not about sinking boats. Nobody's going to be sinking boats. But because and it's not out of a spy movie either. But sabotage refers to what we do to ourselves. Sometimes is when you know what the right thing is to do, and then you find yourself without really understanding why, moving in the opposite direction and going straight to the wrong thing and doing the wrong thing. Like, for instance, you sit there and you go, you shouldn't have another piece of chocolate, because you're going to get fat. And then you go like, okay, well, I heard that voice, but here's my hand reaching for the chocolate. Here's the chocolate coming towards my mouth, and boom, next thing you know, you had 6 pieces.
From just 1 piece to 6 pieces.
You know what I mean? And it's that feeling. And then we take it into relationships as well, don't we?
True.
It's almost like we build a narrative of why we are not good enough. And then you take that into a relationship, and then you start making that the truth, even though it's a lie.
Yeah.
And that's what the song is about. It's about me, having had that experience and seeing how some of my old destructive habits from the past have been translated into a beautiful relationship that was supposed to be positive and uplifting, but then yet here I come with all my negative nonsense, and somehow it filters its way to the top. And I needed to write about that. I needed to let that out of my system. Yeah.
Oh, that's great stuff, Matt. And this song takes a slightly different direction from some of your previous releases, featuring a more spacious piano-led arrangement. What made you decide to explore that sound?
Well, to be truthful about it, it's just you can't do a song like that and just we call it giving it the boots and tackies treatment, which is like boots, tackies, boots, tackies, boots, tackies, boots, tackies. When you like really go with like beat. So it's then you lose depth and you lose I think you lose feeling. And this song it just had too much feeling and honesty in it to just make it another banger or another so so that's why a bit of piano, gentle guitars, and just really driving home the point actually of what Sabotage is about. Trying to, at least with the instruments. So it's a bit of it's a gentler song. It's not necessarily a doof one.
More like the Goomba Goomba, in other words, as some guys would say. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Matt, this song also touches on themes of pride, self-doubt, and the search for genuine connection. Why was it important for you guys to explore those emotions in this release?
Well, I guess, we could have gone the Kurt Darren route and just written about, hopping spiders or about, 6'7" or whatever. But we feel that there's enough songs out there that are just meant to distract you and just meant to take your attention away from, things. But there seems to be a real need out there with people as well to really connect with something that's serious and something that's real. And I think most of us have these feelings. It's just we don't talk about it. Most of us sometimes do struggle with being disappointed with ourselves, at some stage or the other. And this is just giving that a voice. And I think that's what we found resonates with people, is that, it's a moment of honesty. It just put to music.
Awesome stuff, Matt. And also you guys recorded Sabotage at Cape Town Sound Studios. Sound Studios.
So
and
Movie
worked
Records.
yes, and also worked alongside guest musician Sergio Gino Trout. What was that creative process like?
Wow. So we're very lucky to have had Sergio on board. The man he's just fantastic to work with. So it's like having an AI that's a human being that's looking at you face to face and being able to do everything you want him to do in a heartbeat, but literally with you just telling him, hey, I'm feeling it like this, and then he goes, boom, puts his fingers on the piano, and it comes out like that. Or he produces it in a different. So he was our producer as well. So he produced the song. And it was just wonderful to work with, incredibly intelligent and just really, really tuned into making exceptional music.
That's great stuff, Matt. So you've also you've built an impressive following over the years. What kind of response have you guys received from fans who have already heard Sabotage?
So that's the thing is, I like how you say impressive following, but we're finding that it's slow because we're building real fans in the sense that it's easy to get someone to follow you on social media, and you'll find that, like for instance on Instagram, we don't have like 1 million followers or whatever on Instagram. We've got very little followers. But what we can say about our followers is that I think most of those people have seen us perform somewhere in real life. And they've met us. And I think that's the difference, is when you see people tearing up a little bit, or people coming to you afterwards and saying, wow, that was really amazing.
Yes.
Or people saying, yo, you guys are so good, It's a wonderful thing to hear in real life. as
100%.
opposed to just doing another video and adding effects or doing it in AI or whatever. And I think we're living in an increasingly artificial world or digital world because we
100%.
spend so much time sucked into our phones, right? I mean, even if we're spending time together, it's like you on your phone and me on my phone.
That's correct. Yes.
And I think there's just something really cool about you going somewhere, sitting down and connecting with real live music without backtracks, nothing artificial about it.
Yes.
And I think that's been our success so far, coupled with the fact that we've got young people, like very young people, like 18, 16, 15-year-olds, like really,
Wow.
vibing to our music. And then right next to them, you sit there and you see there's a 50-year-old or there's a 40-year-old, doing exactly the same thing. So to us, that's been a real win, is to have,
Yeah.
multi-generational people following us and liking us and enjoying our music. Our vibe is very much like an Imagine Dragons meets Mumford and Sons type vibe live as well. So people
Wow.
feel our energy,
Yeah.
we really put deep and we put energy into the thing. Yeah.
That's really great, Matt. And so as we move further into 2026, what's next for Kruger and Tutu? Perhaps can fans expect more new music, performances, or
Yes,
exciting projects?
100%. So I'm very much into Sam Fender and Olivia Dean at the moment. I don't know if you've heard that song "Rain Me In" by them, but it's just fantastic. And that whole sound, the sound of maybe bringing the jazzy vibe back and really blending it into to rock. So we're planning to do an awesome collab with a lady called Carlithia. She is phenomenal. She's talk about a huge following on TikTok. She's the proper, she's got really got a lot of followers on TikTok. But the thing about her is she's got a voice that's not afraid of anything, and she sounds to me like a South African Olivia Dean. And we would love to. I'm working on writing a song that's going to showcase the best of Kruger and Tutu, along with that Olivia Dean type sound, and then bringing that out as a collab a bit later in the year. Apart from that, we've been booked to play festivals. We're playing a lot of live venues, which is our strategy. Our strategy is come and see us play, and hopefully from that start following us and become a real fan.
Yeah. That's really awesome news, Matt. And just one more question before we let you go. What message would you like to leave with your listeners and supporters? And perhaps while we're on that, also where can the listeners find your music online, such as Sabotage and your other music as well?
And the
Follow
other
you guys
songs.
online. Yeah.
Right, so we're very easy to remember. You just think of the national park, the Kruger National Park, and then you think of the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and you just put them together. And it's at Kruger and Tutu. Kruger and Tutu. And if you just type that in, you'll find us. You'll find our music. You'll find us on TikTok. Our biggest platform is TikTok. But we, like I say, we don't really need the help on TikTok. Where we would love people to follow us is on Instagram and on Facebook. So if they vibe with our music, then we'd love to have a real follower to come in and just say, hey, I like these guys. Boom, let's go see them somewhere.
Wow, that's really great.
And then message wise, I think the reason why we do the music is to make people feel better about themselves. And we all struggle so often with just feeling a little bit down sometimes. Life can be very challenging, and we hope that our music is one of those things that when people connect with it, that they go, okay, I can deal with this, or that they just smile. They go like, hey, this is not bad. This is pretty cool. I can listen to this.
Yeah.
That's our real hope from it. Yeah.
Wow, that's really great to hear from you, Matt, and really awesome to have you with us once again. Thank you once again for joining us. It's always a pleasure catching up with you. And once again, unfortunately, Warren couldn't join us today, but surely the next time you will. So
yeah, no, he will. No, he's on baby duty. So, if you're doing daddy daycare, that's priority number one. It doesn't matter what else happens.
That's
if
priority number
one.
one.
Baby needs you, baby.
That's one of those things. Okay, that's really awesome stuff, Matt. And also to the listeners, that was Matt Kruger, rooting for Kruger and Tutu, and also chatting with us about their musical journey and their brand new single called Sabotage. So be sure to stream the song on all major digital platforms and keep an eye out for more exciting releases from this talented South African duo.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.